Hello everyone, I'm Danielle from Control America, and I'm here to tell you all about our fantastic conference that's in its fourth year this year. That's our Trauma in Animals Conference. Trauma is such an important topic that we need to discuss in our animal community because it can impact our animals in so many different ways. But how do we know? That's the topic for this year's conference, is we're looking all about case studies. So our presenters are coming along and they're telling exactly how they're identifying trauma in these animals and how they're working with them. It's something that I quite often do in my discussion groups with my mentees is we go through cases and we go through our diagnostic criteria of what we're looking for. And there's a snapshot of what I want to share with you today. This is an example of our consultation guide that I go through in our mentee sessions, and a lot of the stuff that's going to be discussed here, we're going to talk about in our conference too. So you'll notice that when we're looking at these animals that come with us that are having reactive type behaviors or shut down behaviors, and we're like, oh, is trauma an element here? Are these animals fearful? Are they phobic? Is there anxiety here? How do we know? That's why we want to consider everything. We don't want to jump to conclusions. So first of all, we want to kind of list all the possibilities that the animal could be reacting in the way that they do. So we're looking at fear-based behaviors, we're looking at phobias, anxieties, and then our trauma is going to be down here at the bottom. And we want to kind of have a discuss about what these things are. So if they are fearful, what are they fearful of? So here it could be sounds, it could be gunshot sounds, it could be movement, it could be touch, it could be other dogs, confinement. Same thing with phobias and anxiety. And we need to kind of gather lots of information to try and figure out what is actually going on for our dogs, so we know whether it's an acute thing. And ultimately, we want to have a look at the behavior and look at the evidence and the context that's happening in. Are their reactions appropriate and proportional to the situation? Do they seem over the top? Are they always in the presence of the thing that they're reacting to? Do they seem like they're anticipating that it might happen? Are they kind of not able to panic at all because they seem worried that this thing is going to keep on happening? And this can be really, really difficult for our clients to understand and to work with and live with. And the whole point of our trauma conference this year is so we can let you know about how we can actually work with these animals. Some examples of things that you might try with the animals might include things like pattern games. Some examples. So we try and build up these predictable habits because for a lot of these dogs, predictability equals safety. And that's one thing that I love about pattern games in particular, and other pattern-based movement exercises, is they allow the unpredictability of the world to become slightly more predictable because they can understand what's doing these things and they're not overly cognitively focused. So the dogs get to understand and learn really, really quickly about what they need to do. And you get that really nice focus back from our handlers. And these can support dogs in so many different ways by using such simple techniques. Other things you might see are things like scent work or free work and enrichment puzzles and games kind of help our dogs to respond and learn in different situations. So you might see free work layouts like this to allow these dogs to be able to explore in their own time safely, and they can realize that the world isn't quite as scary as they think, and we can help to build up their recovery. It's so important when we're working with these animals that we look at them as individuals and not just aspects of what they've been through. And when we're looking at anything that involves trauma, what is very traumatic for one individual could be a Tuesday to someone else. And it's not up to us to decide whether something was traumatic for an individual. It's up to the individual. And quite often we can see that in their behavior. And we need to ensure that when we approach these cases, that we do it thoughtfully, that we do it compassionately, because the world is a scary place for a lot of these animals. And we can make sure that one part of that fear does not come from us. We would love for you to come and join us at our conference this year. Our speakers are fantastic. They have been doing this work for many years now, and they have some wonderful cases of how they have helped dogs work through their trauma, how they've helped their clients and caregivers to be able to understand what's going on with the animals, to ensure that they can live a high quality of life that's full of compassion, love, and empathy. We look forward to seeing you there.